My husband dumped me via a text message while I was 2,000 miles away on a travel nursing contract. He told me he emptied our joint savings, moved his 22-year-old girlfriend into our custom-built Austin home, and changed the locks. My response? A simple thumbs-up emoji. Because what Mark didn't know was that I had been playing chess while he was playing checkers, and that house, it was never legally his to begin with. I'm 34, and I've been a critical care nurse for 8 years. When I took a lucrative 4-month contract in Seattle, Mark swore he'd hold down the fort. But exactly 3 weeks into my deployment, my phone buzzed at 1 in the morning. It was a block of text from Mark, cold, heartless. He said he was exhausted by my schedule, that he found someone who truly valued him, and that he had already transferred our savings to a private account. He ended it by saying, "Do not come back to the house. Jessica is moving in, and I will be keeping the property." I sat in my tiny hospital break room, staring at the screen for maybe 5 whole minutes. Did I cry? Did I panic? No, absolutely not. Because the truth is, I knew this was coming. You see, about 7 months before I left for Seattle, Mark started acting weird. He changed his phone password. He started working late at the dealership. He even bought a brand new cologne that smelled like cheap vanilla and bad decisions. Now I'm a Texas woman, and my mama always taught me to trust my gut. I didn't confront him. I didn't scream or throw plates. I quietly hired a private investigator who confirmed my worst fears within 3 days. Mark had been seeing Jessica, a receptionist at his job, for months, so I started digging a grave for his ego. The house he claimed he was keeping, I bought that house 2 years before we even met. When we got married, Mark pressured me to add him to the deed, saying it was the right thing to do. But instead of a standard deed transfer, I had my lawyer draft a very specific ironclad post-nuptial agreement disguised as a standard refinancing document. It stated that in the event of infidelity, he forfeits any and all rights to the property, the equity, and any spousal support. I told Mark it was just standard bank paperwork to get us a lower interest rate. He was so busy texting Jessica. He signed all 40 pages without reading a single word. Now back to that joint account he drained. He thought he took everything. $45,000 gone. It stings, sure. But what Mark didn't realize was that for the last 6 months, I had been routing 80% of my travel nurse paychecks into a completely separate trust account. I only left enough in the joint account to keep him comfortable, to keep him blind. The morning after his text, I called my lawyer. I said, "It's time." While Mark and Jessica were busy playing house, throwing pool parties, and drinking my expensive wine, my lawyer filed the divorce papers, attaching the post-nup, the private investigator's photos, and a formal 30-day eviction notice. I didn't hear a peep from Mark until day 28. My phone rang. It was him. He was absolutely frantic. He screamed, "Are you insane? You can't evict me. I'm on the mortgage." I took a slow sip of my coffee, let out a deep breath, and said, "Actually, Mark, you're not. You're a month-to-month tenant, and your lease is officially up." He tried to backtrack. He started crying, telling me that Jessica maxed out his credit cards, that he blew through the $45,000 on a new truck for her, and that they had literally nowhere to go. He begged me to let him stay in the guest room. I paused for a long moment, let the silence really hang there, and then I smiled. "You should have read the paperwork, Mark," and I hung up. When I finally flew back to Texas, the house was completely empty. My lawyer made sure Mark was legally forced to repay every single dime he drained from that joint account, right down to the last penny. Last I heard, Jessica dumped him the second the money ran out. Now, he's living on an air mattress in his brother's unfinished basement, while I'm sitting on the back porch of my beautiful paid-off home, sipping a margarita. Sometimes the best revenge isn't getting angry, it's letting the trash take itself out.